Are we live? Is this thing on? Are we live? Hello. Hi. I've missed you. How's it going, YouTube? How's it going, Big Draft Energy Nation, Disco Ball Nation? How's everybody doing today? I'm doing a little bit better. I'm doing all right. Maybe lost like 9 pounds on the toilet yesterday because your boy got food poisoning from his favorite pizza joint. The deception is devastating. But you know what's not devastating? Having a lobby on Friendship Friday in the Drafters 2 million best ball tournament. And there's a huge overlay. And if you get 10 Drafters 2 million drafts in general this weekend, so the 25th to the 27th, you're going to get 2 free Drafters 2 million tickets. The overlay is huge. The opportunity is huge. The promo is huge. And you know what else is huge? Your boy Disco. Kidding. What else is huge is Disco Ball Nation. Shout out to you guys. So let's shout out every single member of Disco Ball Nation up and her. So we got our boy Ashen One drafting from the 101. It's like every stream now. He's at the 101. It's crazy. We got our good friend Mr. Junior at the 103. If you guys don't know who Mr. Junior is, you're about to find out. He's on the underdog prove it list. That means like 25% of his freaking teams, his drafts last year on underdog, finished in the money. That's a good percentage. That's a lot of money. So shout out to him. My boy, my twin, Mr. Jonesy One Kenobi at the 104. The two-time Quasi is at the 105. The Fellowship Fantasy Football is at the 106. Angry Elf at the 107. Bad Guys Official. Boy, we got some Dallas Cowboys news. How about them Cowboys? Trey Lance, weird. One thing we have in common, receding hairline. And I got a lot of exposure to him and my receding hairline. And then yours truly at the 110. So we got a snipe show from the 103 all the way to the 108. I like it. I think this is going to be sick and biblical. Let's get weird. Quasi, that's my line. Are we live? You bet your tuchus we're live. Antonio says, what up? Just missed out. Oh, man. I guess we got to fire up another one after this, potentially. Ashen One, number one, because if I'm not first, I'm last every time with your streams. I've been last a lot, especially in these drafters 2 millies. Kobe and the Cattle Dog says, all clear. Thank God I'm not speaking to myself. Quasi says he's ready to win 300K. Same Z's. Bad Guys Official says, Konnichiwa. Konnichiwa, Mr. Bad Guys. All right, we're going to go with AJ Brown. We don't got a lot of AJ Brown here. I just need to fix something. That looks terrible. Okay, this should be better. Hopefully this is better. Okay, my boy Castle Sports Talk. That's Mr. Junior. It looks so much better when I have it like this. He says, let's do this. Let us do this. Castle Sports Talk also says, we squatted up. Yes, sir. Yes, sir, because iron sharpens iron, and I love drafting with you guys. But, and I will say but, the fact that, you know, people are trying to take advantage of this overlay and auto drafting, and I got to do 10 drafters 2 million this weekend. I think I'm only going to do a couple with you guys this weekend, like live on stream. And then I'm going to try to take opportunity off stream to like really get the best possible lineups. Because I drafted with, I think it was Bad Guys Official last night. I drafted with him last night in a $3 mini, and I got all the freaking value that one could possibly want in a draft. It was absolutely phenomenal. It was a great draft. And I realized, like, you guys are all sharks and savages. You guys are Bijan. What? Okay. Bijan in the second round. Okay. I'll take it. I'll take it each and every single time. Jesus, that's my first Bijan in the second round. We got AJ Brown and Bijan Robinson. Let's go. We're off to a great start. Now, in case you didn't know, you're about to know about what we're doing and where we're doing it and how you could do it too. And if you want to do it, you can come do it with us, and we'll even give you a discount. All right. So right now we're drafting in the Drafters 2 million. That's where first place wins $300,000 Rooskies. Can I get a hallelujah? Hallelujah. Waiting for the holidays. Yeah, and there's $2 million in total prizes to be redistributed everywhere else. Then there's also the Drafters Mini, where it's a $3 buy-in. First place wins $30,000, and there's $2 million in total prizes. Super sick. And it is in the best possible way you can draft because there's zero time commitment. We are doing it in best ball format, which is the most convenient way for you to draft. You have 20 rounds to fill your roster for depth. Each week, a starting lineup is composed of the following positions: 1 quarterback, 3 wide receivers, 2 running backs, 1 tight end, 1 flex. At the end of the week, the best overall performances on your weekly roster will be submitted to your weekly matchup. So no more leaving points on the bench, no more waiver wires, no more trades, none of that garbage. You literally just draft it and forget it unless you're winning a really, really, really ridiculous amount of money, like a stupid amount of money. So if you sign up today using promo code DiscoDrafts1, I will match your initial deposit, dollar for dollar, up to $100. Friendly reminder, if you're like myself and you're from Ontario or in Canada in general, all transactions are done in US dollar, so keep that in mind. And if basketball is not your deal, you could do a drafters pick'em, a pick'em. You could $100 extra dollar-ooskies, fellas. If you get 8 props, you could do it in baseball. You could do it in basketball. You could do it in football season long. You could do it in football in season. Oh my God, the season's what, 13 days away? Let's go. Jonathan Sieg says, what you going to do when I'm drafting here? I'm going to retire. If JC, if you draft with me on Drafters using promo code DiscoDrafts1, I will retire because that means I made it. Somebody as big and phenomenal as you drafting with me, I made it. I'm retiring. I'm done. I can't do no more. Antonio says, damn, Bijan round 2 steal. Facts. Big facts. Major facts. Bad Guys Official says, hola. Jonathan Siegel says, ha 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 ha. Fellas, I'm so sleep deprived right now. Like, so sleep deprived. I'm sleep deprived. I'm hungry, but I can't eat because my stomach still's like, there's no processing system. It's like in and out. Like, I can't. It's ugly. My favorite pizza joint did it to me. The Deception. Okay, we're going to go with... typically, I take Jerry Jeudy here, but... don't know what happened there. So we'll take Lamar Jackson because I don't have much exposure to him. And then we'll just take best available when it comes around because Lamar Jackson is that last quarterback in that top tier. So we'll go ahead and snag him, and we're getting weird. Antonio said that made me laugh. My man. What part? The part about my Twitter on the shitter where I was on Twitter all day yesterday and on the toilet, or my laugh with JC? Oh, I like that, Quasi. Quasi says, put some mustard on that Bijan value. You know what I won't be putting mustard on? Vitamin water. Triple X. Sponsor your fucking boy. This is what champions drink. Champions drink Triple X vitamin water. Quasi, tell them when you won first and second place, you did in back-to-back drafts, and you were drinking this. This is the drink of champions. If you want to be a best ball champion like Quasi, drink Triple X, acai blueberry pomegranate. Drink it. Fuck. I don't want to take Amari Cooper, but I'll take Amari Cooper. I'll take Amari Cooper. We're getting weird here. Fantasy Fellowship said, tonight's a great night for you. For your first Kenny Gainwell share. I doubt it. Highly doubt it. Here's the thing. Like I was telling Quasi earlier, like I can never get there. And even if like I can get there, I never prioritize it, right? Because like I understand the theory behind why people want Gainwell and want to get to Gainwell. I just can't get there. I don't want to get there. If I lose all of my best ball lineups for not drafting any Kenny Gainwell, so be it. I'm willing to lose out on Kenny Gainwell. Feel the champions. Tell them, Quasi. If you want to loose like me, drink Twisted Teas and draft. Oh man, there's no way I'm drinking alcohol. I can't. Like I'm like Fantasy Fellowship said, anybody watching Detroit, Carolina? Did I miss anything spectacular? Okay, speaking of spectacular, speaking of absolutely spectacular, the two quarterbacks I have the most exposure to in these tournaments are now on the same fucking team. They're now on the same freaking team, and I hate it. I hate that Trey Lance and Dak Prescott are on the same freaking team. I'm hopeful that Trey Lance will start getting some playing time because Dak Prescott could potentially lose his job. But I also think developmentally, it's a good place for Trey Lance to be. It's a good place for him to be. It's a weird trade. I don't like it. Arizona made some weird trades yesterday. Didn't like it. Didn't like it at all. Like they gave up Isaiah Simmons, who has a lot of potential. Just the scheme never like really benefited him, and he never took advantage of it. It's weird. It's weird. I don't know how to feel about it. Like, I'm not going to go ahead and tell myself a story where it's like, oh, now I got to draft Trey Lance because Dak sucks, and I got to fade Dak because they invested in Trey Lance because they're not worried, or because they're worried. I'm not going to do that. I'm not going to tell myself a story like that. But what I am going to do is I'm going to pivot and start drafting elsewhere because it's just I already have way too much exposure there, and it's now a volatile situation, and I don't like it. I'm not happy. The Fellowship says Mingo, nice slant, catch and run, touchdown. Bad Guys Official, as a Cowboys fan, says hate it too, bro. I know, right? Best Ball Jonesy says, I'm assuming you were drafting Lance as a QB too, so it doesn't matter. Honestly, it does matter because I want to say, like I was like looking it over on at least 15 $3 minis early on. I had two quarterback builds, and it was Dak Prescott and Trey Lance on the same team. Best Ball Jonesy says, by the dip. I don't presume there's going to be a dip. Like I think the best ball community is not going to pounce on that news and be like, okay, Trey Lance is there to replace him. Like I think it's a developmental place for Trey Lance, and Trey Lance is now like a legitimate backup quarterback, and he can learn a lot from Dak in that system. Like, jokes aside, Dak's a phenomenal quarterback, and he's an even better guy. So I think situationally, even though I never anticipated that the Dallas Cowboys would be a suitor for Trey Lance, situationally, it's probably the best case scenario for Trey Lance. Honestly, it's a great scenario, and Jerry Jones did it again. He got a top talent at like an incredible discount, and now he just gets to be a nice nice play for them. All right, Chris Godwin. I was looking at Jay Sieg's Twitter, and he put Drake London or Chris Godwin. And I'm like, in PPR, at first, I wanted to say Drake London, and I've been drafting Drake London a lot ahead of Chris Godwin. And I'm like, but like PPR format, Chris Godwin's like a PPR god. Like, he has the safest floor. I think he has a safer floor than Cooper. I think he has a safer floor than Pickens, McLaurin, Judy. Like, and Chris Godwin is getting faded and pushed, and like we need to stop the disrespect. We need to start putting some respect on Chris Godwin's name, because even though Baker Mayfield's the Q there, I still think he's a top freaking wide receiver in the league. All right. We'll take Ayuk here. This is like simply an exposure draft. I don't have any Lamar Jackson. AJ Brown, hardly get him. Amari Cooper, fucking hate him. Chris Godwin, I've been fading and disrespecting, but like I'm back to earth. And then Brandon Ayuk, another guy who's like, I don't like him at ADP. I don't like him at ADP this year. I'm not there with him. All right, let's catch up on the chat. You guys are busy. And Tony says probably quarterback 3. Who's going to be the backup there? Is it Ashton one says, be funny if Dallas just picked him up to build him up and trade for a higher value later. I mean, that's what Jerry Jones does. He's a businessman. It's good business. Best of all, Jones says, I mean on Judy, not Juicy. I mean on Judy, for me, not dip on Lance. Oh, okay. Gotcha. Tim D says nonsense. New Darnold is the guy. Nonsense. Know all. Cooper Rush, still probably the quarterback too, says Fantasy Fellowship. Interesting. Tim D, especially 2000s Patriots roster. I like you. Jonathan Siegel says, agree with Disco 100% on Lance. See, like we can agree on things, right? As long as we agree that I'm never allowed to do a New York accent around you because like it's my favorite fucking accent to do and I love doing accents, but I just don't want to offend you. And like I just want to like be like, I'm walking over here, but I can't do it. I can't do it. Just Quasi says, oops, I just autoed. Who'd you auto, brother? The two-time auto, J.K. Dobbins. It's not a bad auto. Fantasy Fellowship said Dameon Pierce moving up on boards this week. I know everybody panicked when Singletary got there and started reaching high on Singletary, and now Dameon Pierce is, a primo back, and Singletary's afterthought. So I'm loving the dip on Singletary. I'm buying the dip there every single time. JC said Godwin 1,000 yards, 2 out of last 3 seasons. Granted, that was with the GOAT Brady, but I hear you. I don't disagree. I think everything you're saying is logical. I don't even care about the yardage. I care about the volume. In the under routes, in the screen game, like he's a volume magnet, and like in PPR format, if you're drafting in round 5, there's no safer floor than Chris Godwin. There honestly isn't. You don't have to worry about spike weeks with him. You're going to get a consistent performance from him week in and week out, where his floor is very safe. And then add in a touchdown or 2, he's going to get some incredible performances. So yeah, Chris Godwin needs more love. Cooper Rush. Yes, that guy. Can see him going to Tampa, Vegas, Tennessee next year. Is that Cooper Rush or Trey Lance? Scary Terry. How far did he fall? Oh, you autoed Scary Terry. Gotcha. Not Dobbins. That was intentional. Got it. Fantasy Fellowship says, what week does Kyle Trask finally start? I don't think he ever starts like intentionally, unless something bad happens to Baker Mayfield. I feel like Baker Mayfield may shock some folks this year because that division, even though they play sound defense, it's just like they sabotage themselves. That division is a division where teams are so bad that they sabotage themselves in games. Like the greatest saboteurs are there in that division. So like they all have a chance to compete. They all have a chance to play night in and night out. Baker Mayfield in the 20th round, if you got some exposure to some Bucks, it makes sense. Like, why the hell not? Antonio says Adam Thielen to the medical tent after a hit. God bless him. God bless him. Bad Guys Official says Trey. So you were saying Trey going to Tampa, Vegas, or Tennessee next year? That's not a bad deal, but like I don't think Tennessee would be ideal there. All right, we're gonna go Rachaad White here, and hopefully our guy falls back to us. You guys definitely, like you, Disco Ball Nation, you definitely know who our guy is, but I don't think the Body Spill knows. I don't think Gridiron King knows. But then again, like he's best available right now, and I probably should have went with him, but I am building a little bit of correlation with this Tampa Bay offense, which I haven't done yet. So it's very exciting stuff. Where's Football Chalk? Football Chalk, you here? Make sure you guys click the link in the description. Football Chalk. We're doing a jersey giveaway. It's a Hines Ward signed official jersey. They're our first sponsors. Shout out to them. And it's free. It takes 2 minutes of your time. All you got to do is subscribe here. And shout out to all of our subscribers. I have no idea how many we're at right now, but I know we had a good day in terms of like gaining a lot of subscribers, which is freaking awesome. Freaking awesome. Such a blessing. But yeah, all you got to do is subscribe, and then we're back on the clock, and nobody took our guy, so we're going to take him. And I know Fantasy Football Nonsense is going to be like, take Michael Pittman. No, I'm not there with him. Not there with him. David Montgomery, all day, every day. Like exposure rules do not apply to David Montgomery ever. And I like our running backs. Our wide receivers, not so much. Our quarterback, don't love it. Like with Lamar Jackson, I'm probably still going to go with a 3 QB build here. The Fantasy Fellowship says Monty Money. Yeah, that's my guy. We agree as well. Fantasy Fellowship said Monty should be a 6th rounder. I 100% agree. So I'm going to keep taking him. I'm going to keep if he falls. Blessings, Antonio. Blessings. He says 403 subs. Blessings. What a day. God is so good. Man, I'm so sad I can't go to my favorite pizza. Like, I have to find a new favorite pizza spot now. And like, my wife's like, I didn't get sick. I'm like, babe, we ordered a large. You had 2 slices. I had 8. Like, come on. Maybe that's why I got sick. I had 8 slices. Yeah, very sad. Sipping on victory. This is a good draft going. I want to see what you guys are doing, what you guys are up to. Antonio with the update. Thielen is back on the field. All right, let's see what our disco balls are doing. We'll start off with Ashton 1. He goes, Justin Jefferson, Patrick Mahomes, Jonathan Taylor, potential number 1 at all 3 positions, and TJ Hawkinson, a potential number 1 at all 4 positions. Kenneth Walker, Jackson Smith, and Jigba. So you know he's going to be going for Geno. Hollywood Brown, and then he's on the clock. Mr. Junior goes Tyreek Hill. He got my double stack. He didn't say he got my freaking double stack. You guys allowed him to get my double stack. Like, why is everybody getting this double stack but me? Like, I only have it once. Like, you should be flexing right now. You got Tyreek Hill and Jalen Waddle. You just got Mew and Mewtwo. Josh Allen, I'm so jealous. Travis, Breece Hall at pick 51. Jordan Addison, Mike Evans at pick 75. And then Tua with the double stack. What are we doing here? Great. Hey, guys, it's been nice. It's been a slice. But Junior just said, you know what? I'm going to run underdog and I'm going to run drafters too. Thanks a lot, guys. Holy fuck, Junior. That is a sick draft. A+ already. Basketball Jonesy goes Christian McCaffrey, Devontae Smith, T. Higgins, Joe Mixon, Jerry Jeudy, Javonte Williams, Zay Flowers, Michael Pittman, Zay Jones, or Daniel Jones. Some really nice value there. But like, honestly, like, I haven't gotten that excited for seeing a lineup in a really long time, like, other than mine. And like, yours is way better because you got Breece at pick 51. It's insane. Quasi goes Cooper Kupp, Derrick Henry. Why is it that anytime Cooper Kupp is drafted, like wherever Cooper Kupp is drafted in the first round, Derrick Henry is sure to follow? It's like a guarantee. All right, I know he's hurt. But like, if he's going to keep falling, I'll try to snag him, because when he is healthy as a wide receiver 5, he's got great upside. And I have 3 sound running backs, so I'm okay there. And then hopefully none of these guys take my tight end. I mean, I would love P. Ryan here as well. P. Ryan would be nice. Yeah, I'll wait for P. Ryan. Castle Sports Stock says I had to go with Evans. What do you think about the Tampa Bay passing attack? I think they're going to be efficient. I honestly think they're going to be efficient. I think they're going to be solid. I think they're going to move the ball around. And I don't think they're going to be doing a lot of chunk plays, hence why I'm more bullish on Samaje Perine or Pat Freiermuth. I'll take Perine. I think that he's like the last running back at that tier that I want anything to do with. The fact that Jalen Warren's going ahead of him, yes, please. So yeah, I think that Mike Evans, I'm fading personally, because I don't anticipate they're going to be utilizing that chunk play a lot. And he's 30 years old now, and like going on the wrong side of 30, it looks like he's lost a step. Hopefully I eat my words, because I'm a big fan of him as like a human being. But yeah, Chris Godwin, like in the dink and dunk game, like he's going to perform based off of volume and volume alone, because like they're not a power running team. So Baker's going to have to distribute the ball a lot. So Kate Otten should be really good. Rashad White should be absolutely phenomenal. Chris Godwin should be really good as well. And that what's that rookie's name? Is it Miller? Best Ball Jonesy says I could have stopped it, but needed more exposure to Smith versus Waddle. Castle Sports Talk is laughing at us all. Fantasy Fellowship said Burks with a $sign at the end, right? I think that was a solid pick. I like it. Got him at 125 today and fell off my chair. That's a steal. That's a steal. Like I'm like, don't get me wrong. I'm not like, oh, Burks is a league winner, but if he comes to you at a value, you should take him at a value for sure. Because like when he's healthy, he has that big play potential, and he does have a good connection with Ryan Tannehill. Castle Sports Talk says I agree with Tampa Bay and Mike Evans, but you're still like at the value you're getting him. It's not that big of a gamble. It really isn't, because like worst case scenario, he's a bust, but you're surrounded by talent. Best case scenario, he's still top 10 talent and is putting up stupid numbers on a night on a weekly basis, and then having another 1,000 yard season. That's best case scenario, which is it's a good bet. It's a good gamble to take, especially like where'd you take him? You took him at pick 75. That's an absolute steal. It's an absolute steal, and he's your wide receiver 4. It's huge. It's huge. He's a flex at best. The Fantasy Fellowship said, I think Godwin can do a Jarvis Landry impression for Baker, so absolutely disappear, tear both of his ACLs, and be completely irrelevant and useless. Sorry, that was really spicy. I don't know. Like, I didn't like Jarvis Landry in Cleveland. I liked him more when he was in Miami. Can we talk about Jaylen Warren for a sec? Sure. What do you want to say? Man's on fire. It's preseason. And I think Jaylen Warren is a phenomenal play. Like, because they, like, as much as we'd like to say Najee Harris is the go-to guy there, it is somewhat an RB1, RB2 room where it's, or RB1A, RB1B room, where it's not necessarily like he's a clear-cut handcuff. So he's going to get some utilization. And he's going to benefit. But the utilization he's going to get a lot of is going to be in third down situations, or like second and long, or just long situations in general, because he's so good as a pass protector, and he's going to benefit from lighter boxes. But we're not going to see him convert a lot of those scenarios. All right. Yeah, we'll take Juju here. And if my guy Damian Harris falls to me at pick 135, I'll gladly take him there. Antonio said Mike Evans almost won me the chip by himself last year. I lost because the Allen Diggs stack. Okay, you didn't lose because the Allen Diggs stack. You lost because Josh Allen hurt himself during that Minnesota Vikings game, which was a sick game. Have you guys watched The Quarterback? Like the Netflix show The Quarterback? I always thought what it would be like to be like behind the scenes on that like game, because that was a biblical game. That game was absolutely insane. It was bonkers. It was nuts. It was such a cool game to watch. And the fact that there's like behind the scenes, like, and also on the field access to what the fuck actually happened and everybody's reactions to it was so freaking cool. It was so cool. I love that whole, like, that was a great show. And I also felt like episode 3 of Hard Knocks fell a little short for me. The Fantasy Fellowship said Warren bags are packed in the 130s, league winner if Najee injury. Yeah, for sure. But I'm never going to draft a handcuff in case of an injury in best ball format. I'd always rather draft like a complementary back, somebody who's going to see a lot of utilization. And I think Warren is more of a complementary back. And if I do have Najee in my lineup, which I have way too much Najee, I always try to get Jaylen Warren so I could get that double stack there. Antonio says, no, I lost because the game got canceled. So 0 for both. Yeah, I had Diggs and I had Jamar Chase. I had Diggs and Chase. A biblical game. It was crazy, right? That game was nuts. Fantasy Fellowship said Warren ain't no handcuff. I if we're talking about distribution of volume, Warren's looking at 30%, Najee's looking at 70%. And the only thing that's going to change that is, and it's probably even lower. It's probably like 75-25. The only thing that's going to change that if there's an injury, but I'm not banking on an injury for Najee. And I think the situation for both of them is going to be ideal. But I'd rather get, once again, like a Samaje Perine, who was a clear-cut RB1 in this scenario, but everybody's forgetting the fact that like Javonte Williams is going to need time to ramp up. So at least half of the season, Samaje Perine is a clear-cut RB1. We know Damian Harris is going to get a lot of volume in the red zone because that's where they tried to improve in the offseason, and he was brought in particular for the for the red zone usage. So I'd rather get this kind of value than a guy who's going to be potentially a handcuff or be on the field 30% of the time. And when he's on the field, his utilization is based off of pass blocking and then third and longs. That's predominantly it. Can he convert those into touchdowns? Sure, but I'm not banking on that on a weekly basis when I know these two have a safer floor. That's all I'm saying. Bad Guys Official says, when is Achane going to be healthy? Well, from what I heard, it's just a labrum, right? Like with a labrum, you're pretty much good after like a week and a half or two, unless you get it surgically repaired. And as far as I'm concerned, or as far as I know, I don't think he's surgically repaired. Fuck, Jameson Williams is falling, and I'm gonna pick it up. I'm gonna pick it up all day. Yesterday, I was so tired because I did another draft with the fellas. I think it was Fantasy Football Nonsense, Ashton 1, and Bad Guys Official, that I only drafted one tight end. So note to self, draft more than one tight end. Draft at least one tight end at this point because I need it. All right. Cole, how I commit to your mother. That's a good one. HA at 144 is interesting. I think, like, I wasn't there with HA. I really wasn't. I didn't like it. And then I saw him and I'm like, holy fuck, it's Chris Johnson. That's what I saw. I saw Chris Johnson. When I saw him in his preseason game, that one rush, like, it's Chris Johnson. Great draft pick here at Jaden Reed, and you got a nice little Jordan Love stack there. I see you, boo-boo. Bad Guy's Official. He's really a good guy. I'm telling you, he's a wonderful guy. Best Ball Jonesy. If you guys are not following him on the Twitterverse, do it now. It's probably a 65-35 split between Najee and Warren. People don't realize when healthy last year, Najee was RB7 last half of the season. Warren's going to get touches, but it's going to be 50, but it's not going to be 50-50 like some backfields, in my opinion. And that's where I'm at too. Like, don't get me wrong, Warren is a tremendous value, but like as a handcuff, he is going to get his utilization. He is going to get in on the field. He is going to get some play time, but it's not in the situations that you want where he has the cheat codes to succeed. If it's a red zone touch on the goal line, it's going to be Najee. If it's first and second down, it's going to be Najee. If it's conversion into a first down, unless Najee's tired, it's going to be Najee. Right? So Najee's going to take all the real workload. Warren situationally, he's there, and Warren benefits from lighter boxes because he's there on passing situations. So his draw play, his sweep play, like, it works. And I think we're going to finally see Matt Canada like open up his playbook, the playbook that he had in college that everybody was so excited about. That never happened because he never had the piece like he had Mitch Trubisky. I think we're going to see Matt Canada really open it up. Fantasy Fellowship said arrows above to Jonesy point. Warren might be the Tony Pollard this year, better than Najee in every metric. I respect your take. I see where you're coming from. I generally see where you're coming from. And like, the thing I respect about you, Mr. Fellowship, is like your takes are rational, they're sound. You're not just doing it for clickbait like bullshit, which is why I respect you. Like, there's merit behind your points, and it can very well hit. But like the way I'm playing it and the way you're playing it, it's not the same. And I 100% respect your opinion. And like, if I'm wrong, I'm wrong. I'll admit it. I'll take my L. But like, at this point in time, I'm just not there on him. And like, I can understand why you're there. Quasi says, I need more Kmet. I keep forgetting that guy got a $50 million contract, right? Right? Now, in case you didn't know, you're about to know. We are drafting here on Drafters Fantasy Sports. This is the Drafters 2 million, where first place wins $300,000. There's $2 million in total prizes, and it's a $20 buy-in. Here's where the big boys come and play. Big dogs. Oh, my dogs don't bark. Yeah, and this weekend, if you get 10 Drafters 2 million drafts in there and take advantage of this humongous overlay, they'll also give you 2 free tickets on Monday, which is pretty interesting. So that's 12 opportunities to potentially win $300,000. So if you demand that you say you demand it, hold on. We'll take Richie James. If you demand and you say you demand, and like you do all this draft talk and nonsense, well, take advantage of this promo code Disco Drafts 1. We'll match your initial deposit dollar for dollar up to $100. All right. Fellowship said, I think the best take is both Najee and Warren can be good picks at current ADP. I love Najee this year. I like Warren just a little bit. Like, he went above ADP here. You're telling me beginning of 12th round, I'd like Warren. But 10th round ahead of guys like Damian Harris, I'm not there. And then there's Kenneth Gainwell. Told you I wasn't going to get there. I'm not going to say I'm stumped. I just don't. Okay, Matt Stafford. He's best available. He's got like at least 3 tiers ahead of everybody else. So I'll take Matt Stafford. I don't love the pick. I'm not high on Matt Stafford this year either. Is it wrong that I'm not high on him? Jonesy says, I think that's my first Dulcich all year. Didn't you get him at like a value the other night you drafted with us? I'm almost certain. Quasi said, and if you do 20, you get another 2 freebies. Boom. Quasi, you're at 131. Does that mean you're going to do all 20 this weekend? Basketball Jonesy says, wish I had time to do 20. I don't even think I will have time for 10 this weekend. I'm going to make time for 10 this weekend. I guarantee you I'll make time for 10 this weekend. 100%. Only 3 of them will be on stream and with you savages, because like I don't mind drafting in the mini with you guys, and I don't mind drafting here and there in a drafters 2 million. But like if I'm talking about like a real legitimate opportunity to $300,000, I need to make sure that I'm taking advantage of these overlay abusers who are like just paying to auto pick, and you're going to get some really sick correlation. And I highly advise, if you want to do your drafts, do it first thing in the morning. And the Fantasy Fellowship says, yeah, at this point, I cannot click on Warren. Exactly. And that's all I'm really trying to get at. Like, I know he's a value. I know he's just like a good player. And I know the upside. But like round 10 it doesn't make sense to me. Like, I'm not fading Jaylen Warren by any means. Like, I hope none of what I said like translated to me saying I'm fading Jaylen Warren. Because like I like Jaylen Warren. I like what he does. And I like his potential. And I also like him as a handcuff. But round 10, I'm not reaching on him. I'm not reaching on anybody 2 rounds ahead of ATP. It just doesn't make sense. Quasi says, no, I'm only doing 10. Fair. Quasi also says, I want to save some space for last week. Noted. You know what's cute? Last night, I was sitting down with my wife, and she was sitting there with the big Draft Energy draft guide, and she was doing her $3 mini. And she looked at me. She's like, okay, now grade my team, bitch. And I'm like, whoa. so I gave her a grade, and like I didn't get dessert because I gave her a B. I gave her a B. I didn't get dessert. She's like, should be an A+. I'm like, it should be. You're using my draft guide, but like it wasn't. I'm gonna get beat today. I'm gonna get absolutely violated today. I'm sorry, babe. Please don't hurt me. I love you so much. You wanna go to Tim Hortons after this? Babe, you wanna go get some donuts from Tim Hortons? It's the only thing I can crave right now. Fantasy Fellowship says Thielen TD. Nice corner route from about 20 yards out. Who else is playing tonight? Is it just one game? I'm not gonna lie, since I've been sick, I've drank like 15 of these. It's definitely helped. But yeah, Quadzi, I don't know if have you ever tried the dragon fruit? Colby and the cow dogs, that's the one. She says you gave me a B plus. My bad. My bad. Please don't hurt me. Please don't hurt me. I'm shocked Ashen One hasn't taken Taysom Hill. At this ADP, this is where I would consider Taysom Hill, but I think Bad Guys Official is listening right now. Oh, he's not listening. Let's fucking go. I think I'm like with this kind of roster, I'd be willing to take a shot at Taysom. But before I do that, I'll take John Mechie. Just get like one more really good wide receiver. And then we'll take two more tight ends and a running back as a dark throw. New England, Tennessee, no starters. Is Demario Douglas playing? Last night, LA, San Francisco. Sounds like San Francisco starters are in. Gotcha. Fellowship, remember like late May we were talking about Demario Douglas? I believe it was on your stream. Now look at the hype. He's like their secret weapon. I love it. Let's go. Taysom Hill. Ashton one says Hill didn't fall anywhere close. Did you see his DFS rank? No. What's his DFS rank? I don't care about like the rankings or anything. I just know that Taysom Hill was going round 13, round 12, round 14 up until this past week. So I'm going to buy the dip now. This is where I'm going to buy Taysom Hill. Quasi says, I think so, but can't remember. Been a while since I had a different flavor. You're triple X all the way, baby. Fantasy Fellowship said Douglas is what they wanted Taekwon to be. Douglas is baby Tyreek Hill, man. I'm telling you, he's Tyreek Hill reincarnate. You just wait and see. And like maybe he's not going to put up 2,000 yards this year like Tyreek Hill says he's going to do, but like you're going to see some really freaking spectacular plays. And it's probably not going to be early on, but when it happens, it's going to be spicy. It's going to be super spicy. Now, I'm starting to get worried, right? Because I see Leonard Fournette dropping. But like, do we think he's going to sign somewhere? Do we think he's got ball left to play? Elias, what's up, buddy? He says, is Kelsey a reach out for? I can't bring myself to select him that high. Depends in the format that you're drafting him. Because if you're thinking about it, Travis Kelsey like has a positional advantage unlike anybody else at any other position, where he'll outscore potentially his fellow position mate, like next up, second place by like 50 or 60 points. So he's an outlier alone at that rate. So Travis Kelsey, if you build around him properly, he has all the upside to break fantasy football. The only downside with Travis Kelsey and the only risk with Travis Kelsey is what year is going to be the year that we're going to say he's too old now. I hope that answers your question. Right now, I think you don't play fantasy football to like finish third or fifth. You play it to win. And the numbers show that he's an outlier. And if he's available at a good price point at like the 104, like I wouldn't go for him at the 104. I would wait till like the 106, 107 to go for him. So at the 104, if you really like Kelsey, sure, but it's your risk. So personally, I think the earliest I would take Kelsey in redraft format is 107, 108. Elias says standard PPR one flex. Okay, so 12 man. Okay, yeah. So like I would say at the 104, there should be way better value. Like especially in PPR, it should go Jamar Chase, sorry, it should go Justin Jefferson, Jamar Chase, then Tyreek Hill, CMC. You can switch those two, and then the world's your oyster, right? At the 105, but like whoever's available at the 104, either one of those four names that I just mentioned, take them, right? If it was up to me, I wouldn't go Cooper Kupp at the 105. I wouldn't go Cooper Kupp at the 104. I'd go at least I'd go in redraft format for Cooper Kupp is 109. That's the earliest I'd go. All right. Fudge, like he's still available. Kine Nwangwu. Fantasy Fellowship says Kelce makes me nervous. I kind of have that ick feeling about Kelce too, but I understand why people are so bullish on him. Best Ball Jonesy. Okay, this is a guy who you like. Listen, okay. Best Ball Jonesy says I would take Kelce if JJ, Chase, Hill are all gone at 104. I would take them and be comfortable. Little to no risk with Kelce, and first round picks. You want people that are reliable and consistent. Exactly. So you would take Kelce over CMC in redraft? Elias says, I have an offer to take the 12. Okay, Leonard Fournette as a last overall pick. Yes, please. That's free. Elias says, I have an offer to take the 12th overall pick. I don't know if I should take it. What's the offer? Let me know what the offer is, bud. Fantasy Fellowship says, I think my round preference is studs closer to 25 years. Oh, my first round preference is studs closer to 25 years old. Yeah, that makes sense. That makes sense because you got a lot of high upside potential with the young legs. And like you never want to be that guy who gets caught with like, shit, this is the year he was too old. You know what I mean? Elias said, like, switch my draft order from 4th to 12th. What do you get in return? What do you get in return for that? Castle Sports Talk says when Fournette gets signed, he'll move up 3 to 4 spots. I know, 3 to 4 rounds. I know, like I'm buying the dip. Like I think the trend was, you want to get the best values that like the storylines will start latching onto, like in August, back in June and July, and then come August, you want to just buy the dip as much as you possibly can, and I just did that. Elias said nothing. I just like back-to-back picks. I mean, I personally love the 112, but I'm also not going to pass up on a Tyreek Hill or CMC start in redraft. So, like, I wouldn't take it, but, like, you can also build a nasty team at the 112. I personally wouldn't do it, but, like, I wouldn't suggest it. Don't do it. Don't do it. Babe, we going for donuts? I want donut. Yeah, don't do it. Don't take. Just get CMC or Tyreek Hill. All right, we'll wrap up with our team here, and we'll see you guys same time, same place tomorrow night at 8 p.m. Eastern Time, drafting in the Drafters 2 million. Love you guys. Appreciate you all. Let's keep it rolling. So we got Lamar Jackson, Matthew Stafford at the quarterback position. Don't love it. Hold on. Basketball Jonesy says, probably, honestly, there's so much RB value this year that it's hard to pass on. Kelce. CMC is great, but there's way more risk with him than Kelce. I think the risk factor is similar to both of them. But I think, like, one guy needs to, like, have a spectacular season for his team to win a Super Bowl, and the other guy has done what he's supposed to do. But, like, I also piggyback on, like, potential storylines. Bad Guys Official says, I hate back end of the drafts. I like it. But 106 is like my favorite place to draft, always. Not my favorite, but I get my best teams at the 106. So at quarterback, we go Lamar Jackson. So we go with a 2-7-9-2 build. Lamar Jackson, Matthew Stafford at the quarterback. Running back, we go Bijan Robinson, Rachaad White, David Montgomery, Samaje Perine, Damian Pierce, Kene Nwangwu, and Leonard Fournette. Nasty running back. Wide receiver, we go AJ Brown, Amari Cooper, Chris Godwin, Brandon Ayuk, Treylon Burks, Juju Smith-Schuster, Jameson Williams, Richie James, John Mechie. Tight end, and I absolutely hate Cole Kmet and Taysom Hill. Unique correlation there. Very unique. Definitely not a winning draft. Quasi, aka the two-time, says one of the reasons the winner of these tournaments is usually in June is because the values they got on players that get moved up during camps in preseason. Exactly. And the only way you can stay contrarian to that whole like deal where like you're not buying like because like Tank Dell right now is going round 16. He was free in July and June, right? And people are still reaching on Tank Dell. Like, where the hell did Tank Dell go here? Like Paris Campbell was undrafted. Yeah, Tank Dell, round 15. Tank Dell was undrafted in June and July. Right? Undrafted. So Paris Campbell also undrafted like late May, mid June. So I'm just buying the dip. I'm buying the dip. That way, like, I'm unique. What Quasi says Best Ball Jonesy. Of course, it's more risky to draft because the reverse can be true too. Always. But like, if you don't risk it, no biscuit. You know what I mean? Holler. All right, y'all. Love you guys. Peace and love. Go watch some football. Talk to you guys soon. Same time, same place tomorrow. We got more Jonesy chat. Javante, my my ADP 92. Now he's getting drafted at 61. Yeah, exactly. Mixon similar. Yeah, I remember. Like, yeah, I agree. Remember when Madison was practically free in like the 9th and 10th round? Where's he going now? Round 6, maybe? Round 6, exactly. Anyways, y'all. Quasi says that's why I like to spread my drafts from start to finish. Exactly, because you never know. I like to buy the dips. I like my drafts better in the last couple of days buying the dips than I have in April, May, and June, and July. I do, honestly. Anyways, God bless you guys. Talk to you guys soon. Same time, same place tomorrow. Hopefully we'll get some Leonard Fournette news. Peace.